Good evening, spirits and specters, and welcome to a very special landmark episode of Blood from a Stone, a tale of love and dread told in RPG. My name is Philip, and I am the Dread Master of this game, and if I'd put my window in the middle, I literally could have said surrounding me today, but instead it will simply say, to the sides and the belows of me.
Spawning out from you.
Spawning out from me.
No.
Branching out like the roots of a dead evil tree in a cool graveyard are...
Dripping out like tears of blood.
Sure. Are my wonderful players. Say good evening, players.
Good evening, players.
Good evening, Vals.
Good evening.
Friends, thanks to, look, we're here in Merkshire, where the 13s are hard to come by. On account of it's a D100 system. Percentile, it's just a 1% chance, and, also it's a very roleplay thing, so we don't roll the dice that much. But, for those of you who were not with us last week for our Star Trek game, the dark prayers were answered in the form of six natural 13s in that 2d20 system, 4 of them from Lauren, aka at the time,
Wow.
Quincy Vale, now Sarah Quill herself.
You're welcome.
Which means we need but one natural 13 to trigger a dread storm on a special episode, which is a multiple of 13. And for those of you who've never played in one of our multiple of 13 episodes, I'm Andrew. I'm not actually sure you've ever been here for one of these celebration ones. What I call celebration. The rule is that my 13s count. In addition, in Merkshire, 65s will also count tonight. Because it is tonight's session, so if you also roll 5 times 13, if everybody rolls a 65, that will also advance the dread clock. There's a couple other little dark rules in play here today that I'm very excited to get to as we move on, but I just wanted to sort of get that sort of known and stated before we start. Another thing that I'm going to ask my players their thoughts on this, and also chat if you have opinions, please issue them. Today, not 2 hours ago, in the mail, I was delivered the brand new Adventure Calendar 9 Witch's Brew that is very Halloween themed. Ooh, brews and things. Now, for those of you who haven't been here, what I've been opening these on stream, I open these on stream. But, well, I mean, for this one, I was hoping to do from October 1st through 31st, but they did not, release them in time, and hey, I get it, production stuff, it's supply chain, etc., etc. That being said, what are we doing here? Am I opening 1 through 14 now? Will I just do one every game like we used to do? What's the plan?
How many Fridays are left?
In what?
In October.
In October,
Just
only
3. Today, next week, and then the one that will be in the midst of our thing.
Do 10, but quickly.
I can't. I think 10 on a stream is too much. I'll do it after the game.
Okay.
Hold on. Is there any world in which I wait until December to open this like a weird Christmas guy?
No, because you might
Goth
get
Christmas,
a Christmas one.
Black
Because
Christmas.
we don't know what else to get you.
Well, you already got me the Christmas one last year, which was so kind of you, but that's the only Christmas one they've made.
They've made other Christmas ones.
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna open one then. One is getting opened right now.
You can open for the week of. I don't know if that's been announced, but for that week you could open one on each game, right?
I definitely will, but that would just be. Ooh. However, we're off to a cool start. I'm into it. So number 1 is a Halloween appropriate spider. And
Ew, disgusting. Boo, hiss.
a spider.
Spiders are the best. What's wrong with you?
Well, what's fun about this is that
spiders are wonderful little things.
a spider
I
is
love
actually
them.
relevant to more than one of the characters here, to their phobias or manias. So,
Spiders are very good little things,
This
and you make
spider-
a deal with them. They eat the other bugs.
Yeah,
Mm,
but then when they run out of bugs, they start.
they never run out of bugs.
That's true. There's so many bugs, guys. If you ever look at a chart of how many bugs there are, the answer is there's a lot of bugs. Are we on a hype train?
We're on a hype train.
What a god-
Alrighty.
All right.
Oh goodness.
Wait a second.
Mm.
Oh wait, should we keep hype? Should I keep opening them for the hype train? Is that a thing?
Until every next, if we get every level we get.
Okay, so what level are we at now?
We're level 3.
Level 3.
We're trying to complete level 3, so we've completed level 2.
Okay, so I'll open 2 as well. And it's so easy to find where 2 is.
There we go.
Ooh, a fun one indeed. This is a very appropriate, and you can't really see the cool sparkly sort of thing here, but these are, it is a cat.
Ooh.
So it seems there's a spider set and a cat set. Hey, wait a second, what's the theme of this? Witch's brew? I don't care. It's fine. Guys, we're here to have a thing. Oh, wait, do we just hit level 3?
No.
We have not hit level 3.
No.
So we're trying to do level 3. And I got to stall for 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Well, as we stall, I will start.
I say just keep going, and if it hits, we hit it.
Perfect. Okay, great.
Oh.
Oh! You guys are screaming like a thing happened, but I think on
Level 3 happened.
Level
Level
3
3.
happened.
Apostrophe this just took us to level 3.
Well, that's
Took
so
us
nice of
to
you. Thank
took
you
us
so
through
much.
all our levels.
Goodness gracious.
You really did.
I'm having
Or as they said in the
Coming
Penguin and the
through.
Pebble, goodness glaciers.
goodness glaciers.
R.I.P.
We hit level 3. Oh no.
Oh.
We hit level 4.
Level
No, there were
3.
more-
Book and dagger.
We're working on
Gave
level
us
4.
1,000.
Here's level
4.
here level 3 is the
No,
percentile.
we're
Level
almost
is
at level
sweet.
4.
To be clear, we have not hit level 4 yet. We're working on level 4.
Oh,
We
I
have
thought
not
we
hit level 4.
Apologies.
Great. No problem.
Apologies, I jumped
Guys,
the gun.
if we don't hit the ball,
don't
it's
have.
fine. I just sometimes I know we like to do these things because they're fun, and this is apparently a component of Twitch that I'm really familiar with. As we keep going, and yeah, please get those coming because we got 3 of the dice open. Ooh, fun.
Coming.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about what has happened in our last couple of sessions here in the land of Merkshire. We have gathered with the Order of the Opal Octopus once again at Castle Caliginoira. It's very hard to say because of reasons.
Up! Hit level 4.
Pausing this. All right. Level 4. Ooh. This is in the herbs.
Or herbs, as
The herbs, as the British would
the
say.
herbs. as
Well,
the
we are in
British
Merkshire, so I guess I should say, ooh, this is a fun set as well, guys. Let me tell ya. I'm 99% sure it's a witch's hat. But there is a mild chance it is also the infamous witch's tit. With just a little hair coming out of the top of it.
Because of the hair, it's a.
I mean, it could be a witch's teat, and it just has a little hair on the top. See, it's kind of
Okay.
curly, and
I
nothing's
thought
wrong
it
with
was
that.
just, it was like a mole.
Well,
Witches have moles, but apparently they also have hair on their tits.
I mean, usually just like one, like real sharp one. Witches are cool. I like them. Hold on.
Witches are cool.
Well, we got 4. Ooh, this is exciting. I will roll whatever of these I can during tonight's game. Good thing we're playing. We gotta if we can get to 5, maybe 5 will be a D10. So I'll have a set of witch-based D10s to roll in this.
Apostrophe this.
Oh well, that's so nice of you to do. Thank you.
Get to level 5.
So okay, well we just got to level 5, but that's as many levels as there are, right?
Yes, so
So,
don't
yeah.
you dare donate anything else to us. At this point, your money is no longer good here.
We have a game to play.
I don't disagree, honestly. Yeah, this is. Oh, we got a D20, everybody.
Ooh!
Ooh,
Wait,
what's the
wait, there's more levels.
D20?
There are more levels?
What? Since when? I think
It's
there were
in
only
here.
5.
There are more levels to the
Yeah.
hype train.
What?
Keep
What?
going. It's
what is
unlimited now.
level 20?
Your
Ooh,
money
it's
is still good
green.
here.
Ooh,
Like,
nice.
It is.
is it like a
glow in the
potion?
dark?
It's a cauldron. Hold on.
Does it
Yeah,
glow-
it was like it's a potion-y
I
one.
don't
Does it glow
think.
in the dark?
I will check if it does here in a second. This is hard. I'm having hard. It's a hard time to get this to focus on it for you guys, because it's kind of a smaller
We
image.
can
But
see
it's
it.
it's a little cauldron with bubbles
Yeah,
coming
I
out of
saw.
the stuff. Does it glow in the
I
dark?
saw.
Holding up to light, trying to charge. I don't think it does. It doesn't have that. It's not that kind of like milky greenish yellow color, you know. Oh
Does it
nope,
taste
just kidding. It does slightly glow in the dark.
Try it, lick it. Does it taste like green apple?
Ew.
You guys.
Swallowed it. I don't think they sanitize those, Philip.
What
Who
sanitize
knows?
mean?
Oh my god.
Now, here's an idea: a cereal made of D20s, like little D20
That would
cereal.
sell.
There it is.
D&D players.
Nice.
Cauldron with bubbles. Oh, it's all wet.
What would you call it? It needs a good name.
I would just what poly.
Hey, I know we need to get into the game, but here's the thing. I really am mad that there's no cereal that comes out, at least during Halloween time, called Serial Killer, that's just like Lucky Charms, but then the marshmallows are weapons, and it should have something inside the regular parts that turn the water red. Or the water, milk. Who eats cereal with water?
I'm guessing you do. That's a slip that you do.
Wait, what? I mean,
Feel
what?
sorry
I
about
mean,
yourself.
what? Huh?
I've never done that in my life, but yes, it should turn the milk red.
The more you refuse, the more you deny it, the guiltier you are.
Wow.
But why isn't that a thing? It should be.
It does seem like a thing. It's probably or at least
Cereal and water is disgusting.
some small company should have put it out.
Not the water part, Dan. The cereal. Jesus.
I kind of like thinking it's the water part, honestly. Oh wait, did you just give more? No, wait. Dan said the money's no good here anymore. That's so nice of you to do.
No, I know. I rescinded my comment. The money is still very good here.
Well, okay, but guys, this is a very interesting fundraiser for this dice calendar.
It'll pay back. It'll buy the dice counter.
So
Pays
this
you back
dice
for the
calendar
If it works,
counter.
it works.
Yes, that's the idea. That's perfect.
That's one of the silliest things in the world. As we have a minute 40 left. If I knew how to do stuff in from this app I'm in, I would, but I don't, so I can't. In any case, let's go back to talking about what happened in this game. Because we literally got to they gathered. Yes, our members of. Oh wait, did we just hit it?
We did.
Wow. Goodness. Well.
Opening yet another one.
Is it 6? Okay. Oh, you know what? That was actually really cool and momentous for it to get there, because we now have, though they are mismatched, one will be a cauldron and one will be a cat. I now do have a brand new D100 out of this set.
Nice.
So there we go. So now, thank you all so much to everyone who donated on those. To everyone who contributed to that hype train. 3 words.
Mila?
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah.
Oh, the words, the dark, dark words. Nothing you will ever experience in this horror game we play will be worse than those 3 words. So, with that, yes, when we sort of met our group, they had gathered at the Castle Caliginoira on the coast of Merkshire for a sort of a group of the members of the Order of the Opal Octopus. We met James Joffrey, that is James spelled with a G, a sort of young nobleman. We met Victor Moncrief, a mortician, a bit of an older gentleman. Contrary to reports, his hearing is perfectly fine. We also met Dr. Faust Simpleton, who immediately, as this group arrived in a carriage, the door was opened, and they were told to go around the side, where they witnessed a gentleman named Mr. Haven carrying a young girl, sort of having some footmen and orderlies carry a young girl upstairs to a tall tower, as she said strange things, strange words, strange concepts from, well, that didn't really make much sense. The gentleman then went in, they met Miss, and Lauren, your name is actually incorrect.
Let me add.
The group went in and they met one, a newly married couple, Sarah Renee and her husband Etienne, a handsome blonde gentleman. James instantly took a disliking to this man. As Sarah, Etienne, Victor, James, and Dr. Faust sort of gathered, a footman appeared. He gave Dr. Faust, Victor, and James sort of a suggestion of a place to look at. Upon seeing Sarah, she recognized him as one Mr. Walker. This gentleman then kind of immediately made himself scarce and disappeared into the crowd, but the group followed his instructions and they overheard a conversation from above, something from some chamber where the acoustics were right, where you could hear them on a higher level of this sort of strange and very foreboding castle. After the group decided to go up to the tower that Dr. Faust had said they took this young woman to, so they went up. They talked a footman who'd sort of been stationed outside to see to her needs and to make sure, he wasn't really sure what he was doing there. You convinced him that Mr. Havens wanted to see him downstairs. So he left. You went in and you spoke to this young woman who did seem to be sort of touched in some way. Victor believed she perhaps was seeing beyond some veil. Perhaps not even the veil of life and death. Perhaps an even more distinct veil than that. Victor's understanding of dread increased slightly. Dr. Faust tried to get to the girl to speak in a manner that nearly killed her, but the others pulled him off before he was able to choke her. And Dr. Faust also saw a sort of strange, severe face watching him from the shadows, one that then was not there when he looked back. Everyone went to bed. Sarah had a totally normal sex scene that nothing was wrong with her husband. So even the Bible would say it was an okay sex scene. That was a Bible-approved sex scene. Sarah while having some time with her husband, saw a frightening apparition of a woman hanging. The group also, James also saw what he thought perhaps was an apparition, but then he managed to rationalize somehow, and simply kind of by ignoring it. When he chased after a woman on a landing sort of down a hallway, she seemed to vanish through a solid wall. The next day, everyone sort of went on, and Haven did talk to Dr. Faust, basically told him, like, don't bother with this young woman upstairs. Everyone was prepared for some major announcement that was going to be made at some point that evening. The group then gathered the next day, although Dr. Faust did not gather with him. Dr. Faust instead went off, trying to find his way to that room that he could hear from the gallery below, wanting to see who was up there. He got a bit lost, walking around the castle, and almost had the sense that it was trying to sort of keep him from figuring out where he was going. As he wandered, the others gathered for breakfast. They discussed Victor's own perspectives on and relationship to the afterlife and ghosts, and whether or not he's seen such things. But eventually they decided to go and speak to and also, I guess, most notably of all of this, in that night when Sarah was having her sort of ghostly vision, and others were kind of... and James had an interesting conversation with Walker. And apologize for the super in detail recap. It's just, we took a week off, so I'm reminding myself as well. James had a conversation with Walker. James repeatedly said to Walker, here, come share a drink with me. Walker replied, couldn't possibly. That doesn't mean anything. Victor, in the meantime, had a dream of himself in the catacombs below this castle, seeing a woman he had vaguely recognized from the previous night, where he saw her in the distance when James sort of chased after her. She referred to him as Your Grace. He found on these shelves a very special book one with a bizarre title, TV Guide. But then, a sharp-faced man in black garb stabbed him repeatedly and said the king is dead, long live the king, at which point Victor awoke, uncertain what he had just seen. Victor, upon sort of hearing that Haven had an announcement to make, Victor actually sort of like presented himself to Mr. Haven and sort of brought the group over and was basically saying, you know, I had a dream that might be relevant, and Haven seemed to think it actually was very relevant and wanted to sort of speak to you privately. In the meantime, Dr. Faust, wandering around alone, found himself in a chapel, witnessing two women engaged in some amorous activities for a moment before they were worried about someone called the Ostler. When the Ostler arrived, he told Goldie that she shouldn't be here. Then the woman transformed horrifically into this kind of like misshapen, long-limbed, extended-faced, almost horsewoman. And she nearly trampled Dr. Faust. He leapt aside. Suddenly she and the Ostler were gone, and the woman whom she had trampled, her former paramour, disappeared not long thereafter, before sort of shuddering in death on the ground. Dr. Faust continued looking around the house before he finally found the room in question, the study that would have been over, kind of, you could tell that it was the right room because looking out of the window of it was the same view from the window of the gallery below. Upon entering, you discovered a man wearing black with a severe face, the very man you saw the night before in the girl's room. He wore all black, kind of old-fashioned clothing with his embossed black horse on his chest, and he introduced himself as the keeper of arcane lore. Meanwhile, Sarah, James, and Victor went up to the same room with Haven, and it kind of was, we were sort of cross-cutting between those two rooms. They entered to find a different man with mutton chops sitting at the desk. Haven introduced this man as the keeper, and Victor sort of remembered that the man who killed him had a horse on his own cloak, so it seems to maybe be the man that Victor was speaking to, but then this man, this keeper, has a medallion with a black horse on it as well. As Victor sat down in the chair and Faust sat down in the chair, seemingly the same room at the same time, they both felt an eerie chill, and that is where we close chapter 64 of our story. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but once again, the little sort of pre-screen quote of this page, I will simply read the last line. Quoth the keeper, go with dread. Quoth the keeper, go with dread. So with all of that in mind, with our hype trains at an end, our recaps discussed, the scene set, I don't know, is that, I don't know, Dan and Liv, you guys got that basically? You don't know any of the stuff they were up to, but you're at a gathering at this castle. That's the...
Gathering at a castle. Got it.
And Dan, I would say that, well, we'll get to that. You actually may have witnessed some scenes of this when you were going about other duties you were performing, but we'll get to that later. So with all of that in mind, I'm now going to read what is another personal favorite invocation of mine here. The skies, they were ashen and sober. The leaves, they were crisped and sere. The leaves, they were withering and sere. It was night in the lonesome October of my most immemorial year. So.
It's a real Henry Ludstone pick.
The witch-haunted woodlands. Sarah, Victor, and James.
Yes.
This sort of keeper, this gentleman with the big sort of mutton chop sort of sideburns is kind of sort of looking at all of you and kind of sizing you up. And Victor, you've basically sort of told him of your dream, if memory serves, correct? So hearing that dream described, he sort of says, that is a rather... Thank you for sharing this with me, Mr. Moncrief.
Yes, I wanted to make sure you had all of the details because I feel as if it could be relevant to why we are here today. But can you please share the significance in your opinion?
Yes, it appears we have uncovered something, Mr. Moncrief. We have uncovered a tome of dread. I know that everyone in this group, he kind of looks from Sarah to James and back to Victor. This is what we seek more than anything else. True tomes of dread. But what you are telling me confirms fears and wonders and thoughts. You see, our world is very old, is it not? Many years, many decades of history we could look back upon and know of. True?
Indeed.
But something from beyond our world has come here. The tome in question that has appeared to us. What is strange to me, Mr. Moncrief, is that you seem to have had a dream of hundreds of years ago.
How could that be?
I believe the spirits are restless and connected. This is a very old castle, after all. And now I wonder, if the king whose memories you inhabited was about to find something that he was not meant to find, and one of my predecessors took action.
Predecessors?
Another keeper of arcane lore.
What king do you refer?
Could have been a few kings of that time period. Based on your description, I'll actually have this guy. I'll roll with the new dice. With a 70, no, that's only a normal success. Based on your, based on what you've told me, I can tell you the era, but not the specific king. What troubles me is the possibility that this book appeared then, but now. We have never seen record of this book in the castle. We've looked for this book, or for books like this many times, but it appears that this tome, which has arrived here, was there in the past after all. He kind of looks at Sarah and then James. Have either of you had visions or dreams?
Well, yes.
Please, my dear, go on.
I don't think this was coming from my own mind. I just don't want you to misunderstand that, but I saw a woman hanging from the ceiling. And she looked right at me.
Hanging by her neck?
Yes, by a rope. Around her neck.
If you describe the woman to him, he kind of raises an eye. Then perhaps this narrows down the time period a bit. You, Mr. Joffrey?
Well, I mean, I don't really indulge myself like this. For me, dreams are sort of a slipperiness, like quicksilver dribbling down your throat, a manifestation in your mind. I don't really pay much mind to it, but the only thing that comes to mind as peculiar would be this, and I repeat, and I as a player can't remember it because you just did it in the invocation, but the 3 words that I recalled,
Go with dread.
go with dread. Go with dread.
The keeper gets this smirk. These words are a blessing and a curse among certain arcane practitioners. They are a warning and an invitation. Dread is all around us after all, or do you believe that, Mr. Jeffrey?
Well, I believe that yes, there's suffering all about. How else can I explain my position? Suffering fills us like a dark squalor. A mold growing on a cheese, stifling any light. A dark night flowing out an inky blackness.
As James continues, waxing poetical, we're going to go to Dr. Faust. We're going to cut to the same room as Dr. Faust sits there alone with this sharp-faced man in black. So,
This room kind of thinks.
how have you come to the castle of Caliginoira?
By carriage.
Your dress is strange to me, sir.
It's a lab coat. I don't like it either. But you seem familiar. Have I seen you somewhere before?
I'm sure I would remember you.
With a face like yours, I think I remember you too, but...
You have seen my face, sir?
I get the feeling I've seen a version of it.
Where?
Much darker.
Where have you seen me?
This is going to sound a little crazy. In the shadows?
In the castle.
In a room in the castle.
Which room?
Am I interrogating you or are you interrogating me?
I am interrogating you, as you have come into my office.
Fair enough. It was the room of a young girl. She was quite interesting. A little different from a medical perspective.
Medical?
I'm a doctor. Not a good one, but, you know, I got it in front of my name.
Will you take me to this room?
It was actually really hard getting here. I weirdly got lost. I don't know, the hallways are changing.
He kind of
I
gets
think I
this
could find
just grin spreads across his face. I'm sure the walls will behave themselves if I escort you, Doctor.
Can I do a psychology roll on this guy?
Please do, yes.
$26. That is a hard success.
Hard success. With a hard success, obviously this man is not telling you everything, but There is definitely a, shall we say... You know that he's keeping things from you. He seems very suspicious of you. I'll phrase it like that, Dr. Faust. He seems like he is on guard against you in such a way that he wouldn't be he seems to be like guarding as if you were suddenly to attack him, he would not be surprised by that. Nevertheless, he's definitely intrigued. He really wants to know what you're saying, but he is very wary.
You know what? You're such an interesting fellow. And you know what? It's a good night. Why don't we go visit the room?
And it's at that moment, and probably because of this, a crash, a peal of thunder, a stroke of lightning. He kind of looks out. Yes, let us go. And he sort of stands. And he will sort of let you lead the way. He doesn't want you walking behind him, but he'll sort of like gesture for you to go, and he'll let you walk out of the room.
If I am leaving first, can I walk out the room and just book it in a certain direction?
In what certain direction?
I'll take left.
I mean, is there somewhere you're trying to go, or when you say a certain direction, are you?
I want to go not to the room. I just want to. I feel threatened.
You want to get away from this guy as soon as you can. All right. So in that case, there is not actually a run skill in this version. It's just your move speed. You have a move rate of 7, which is the same as his. So I'm going to, or I think you have a move rate of 7. So I'm actually going to ask you, Dr. Faust, would you make? Let's just do a general strength roll. You're pretty good at these. So it's like you're 70 in strength. Just do a general kind of like run kind of thing.
38.
38. Okay, so a normal success
Regular?
rate. Yeah. All right.
It's totally catching me. It's totally catching me.
He begins running after you, and he starts screaming, "Alarum! Alarum!" All right, so we're going to get to something here in a moment, Dr. Faust. But for now, we're going to cut back to the other room, and apologies to Liv and Dan. We'll wrap some stuff up here. Sarah, Victor, and James.
Yes.
The keeper sort of says, "Thank you for bringing this all to my attention. This is all very interesting. I may have more questions for you."
But of course, as part of the order, I'm happy to assist.
That being said, you said there was another man with them. And he says, the Haven's like, "Yes, there was a doctor, Dr. Faust. Have any of you seen him today? You said you had not, but is that for certain?"
Not. He's asking us.
Mm-hmm.
Not today.
I'm going to tell the footman to keep an eye out for him. I'm going to go check on our young visitor up in the tower. He kind of gives you all like a pretty sharp look. Yes, I think I should. I want to find that man. And the keeper says, "As you will. I may call on you again soon, but what you've told me has given me a great deal to ponder. I appreciate it. Now please, go and enjoy what we..."
Wait.
Yes, my dear.
Who was she?
The girl in the
The woman
tower.
I saw. No.
Oh.
No, the one hanging.
You saw the bride of Anaphias.
Bride of Aliphias.
Aniphias. Now,
Wait, can you spell that for me?
I can spell it. Now, here's a fun thing. I will put it into hold on, but I gotta use a special character. I'm gonna put it both into Twitch chat. But what's fun here is that there's no way any of you would remember such a thing. But that is a name that has appeared before in this game.
Oh no. Where? Are you gonna tell us?
Paradise. In any case,
Was it in the graveyard?
it was in the graveyard.
I know what it is. I don't remember what it is, but I knew it was in the graveyard.
This was the bride of Aniphias, he says.
What color was her hair again? I saw the color of her hair, right?
You can say whatever. Decide. I'm fine. I haven't determined. I haven't rolled her hair color, so say whatever you'd like.
Okay, no, never mind. I was just wondering
No,
if she had a determined hair color.
She whatever her hair color is, it was bouncing creepily along with you while you were boning Etienne.
Yes.
So, but the bride of Aniphias is who he says that was.
And she lived here.
She died here while visiting.
Interesting. How, horrific.
Yes.
Well, I'll turn to the others and say, shall we go, or did you have any more questions? I'm sorry, Victor, did you have any more questions? I'm getting used to the fact that you can, in fact, hear quite well.
No more questions for me, thank you.
But Victor does want to look around the room and see if there's anything worth noticing here.
Make a look.
You don't need to humor him, Sarah.
I'm not humoring him. I'm just letting him know that sometimes I forget.
I got a 6.
A
Extreme
6.
success.
Extreme success. Great. There is one thing you notice pretty clearly in this room. You know what? With a 6, I'm gonna let you, as you stand up, I'm gonna let you see like a glimmer of something. There is a heavy-duty like lockbox on one side of the room that does have a glass top on it, and you can see just with your 6, with your extreme success here, as you sort of glance, that book you saw last night is within this case.
Oh shit. Okay.
Thank you for your time, good sir.
Mm-hmm. Haven sort of nods and begins walking out with all of you. So basically Haven seems to be kind of, he just nods to you all and sort of escorts you kind of like back to the main landing, to the staircase as you're sort of walking down from, it is kind of complicated to get around this area. But as he's sort of beginning to walk you guys down, there's a moment where he sort of like he's basically sort of trying to get not away from you, but he's clearly wanting you to go a little faster, and eventually he just kind of like walks around the side of you. Presumably he's going back to the room where that young woman is. Where do you guys think you are going now? I'll probably cut away at this time, but where do you think you'll go?
Is there like a tea room or something?
Yeah, there's on the ground floor, there's no shortage of rooms where people are just gathered in that sort of, yeah, for sure.
Ooh, the bar. For a shot of whiskey.
There's not really a bar in the castle. There's, you know, you can get, people will bring you such things.
Okay. I would like to find a sitting room.
Okay.
I'm going to tell this to them. Well, shall we find a sitting room? Perhaps we can order a shot of whiskey. I haven't had one in a while and would like to see how it tastes.
And at this time,
Here at this state.
you guys hear the rain is now falling outside. Rolls of thunder in the distance. It's storming now, too, for you. James and Victor, will you also go to a sitting room?
Yep.
Wonderful. Then we're actually going to cut to Mr. One Francis Brannigan. Brannigan, You were here. You were here last night. You were sort of busy doing certain things and getting settled in it. There's a few people you were sort of hired to look over, but at present, you are in a tall turret of this tower. You are currently checking in on a young woman who is it is mid-morning at this point, so I think you guys probably had her sit up. A nurse probably came in and helped her get changed, but now she's just sort of sitting in a chair. She's still in a nightgown. The nurse said to you, "Oh, I love, she wouldn't put on nothing else," and just kind of, walked away, whatever, for this. But you've just basically, you're bringing her some food, and you're just going to kind of check her vitals. She's sitting at the window, staring at the rain in this high turret, this kind of very thin, frail-looking woman. Francis, you can tell that she is, shall we say, coming off of some laudanum. She was drugged last night. And in fact, when you helped carry her up these stairs yesterday, she was screaming bloody murder. As you were
right, but can I do some kind of first aid check to see if, what her status is right now?
Why don't you go ahead and give us a first aid check?
That's a 20, which is a hard success.
With a hard success, I just want to go into the Irish when I hear you doing it.
No, it slipped right in, yeah.
I understand. So, she is in okay health. She is clearly sort of she's not really with you, sort of in being sort of present or aware of what's going on, but she's perfectly healthy, strong heartbeat. No concern of overdose. She's just sitting here. You've left her some food. You can feed her a little, but for the most part, all she's doing is just muttering to herself.
And then I'll try and I'll set the food down next to her, and I'll excuse me, miss. You feeling a little better this morning?
The beginning of a new relationship. Christmas. Anything French. 450 SLs. Music. The future. Turn-offs. Renewing my driver's license. Tax time. Junk mail. Running on empty.
Right, well, you're clearly, look, you're gonna be alright here. I'm gonna leave your food right next to you, and then if you need anything, ring the bell, someone will come get you.
Miss December 1980.
Interesting, alright. I'll try and remember some of the things she's saying, and I'll,
Turn-ons. The full moon. Mountains. And music. Turn-offs. Big talkers. Squash. Humidity.
As she's sort of saying these things, you're gonna just turn away from her here?
Yeah, I'm just gonna head back down, yeah.
Alright.
Check in with whoever else has been there and say, hey, yeah.
As you turn, please roll for me, Francis, just roll a look, or a spot hidden. It's called spot hidden in this game. I'm always gonna say look, but it's called spot hidden.
Of course, that's a 21, which is an hard success.
As you turn, in this sort of dark, shadowy corner, you see a man is standing there. There's this moment of just like a fright. You kind of look over, and there's a figure that you see in the corner for a split second. But as you sort of, if you look closer, there's no one there.
Of course. There's no one there.
Seems to be no one there.
Did I just catch the outline, or did I see anything like any facial features?
You seem to recall a very sort of pale, sharp face, but it really could have just been a spot of light in the shadow from the storm outside. You're not sure.
Oh, well, it is the weather has an awful way of playing tricks on the mind like that. So, I'll just head back downstairs.
Great. As you begin sort of to open the door, the man who hired you, Mr. Haven, is actually walking up the steps, kind of somewhat quickly. And he's saying, "Orderly." No.
Yes, sir.
You're the one posted on the girl this morning, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
I need you to make sure
that if a doctor, you didn't see him last night. There is a doctor in our group, a Dr. Faust, Dr. Faust Simpleton. If a doctor tries to come and see this girl, please, do not let him in to see her alone. Call for a footman, call for assistance. We're having. Have you seen a doctor? Has a doctor been by here?
Oh, I've seen no doctor, sir. Is there a reason why you wouldn't want the doctor to go in there alone?
Right now we're honestly just looking for him. I'm not sure where the man is. Just maybe pay more attention than typical. This young woman's very important. He's this very like burly kind of just, kind of like he and Judge McGregor would have like really sat well in armchairs together and
palled around. Yeah.
And he's just make sure that.
Sir, she's been saying some awfully weird stuff.
You
this morning.
don't pay attention to anything. What did she say?
It's stuff like stuff about turn-ons, something about the future. Well, I don't know. Not.
Are you do you have all right penmanship?
Well, I mean, I know how to write and read as most of them.
He just fishes like a notebook and he tears a bunch of pages out of it and he hands you this sort of empty notebook and a pen and says, I want you to write if she says anything particularly strange or if she's particularly agitated when she says anything. Write it down for me. What's your name?
Brannigan, sir.
Brannigan. Thank you, Brannigan. And if that doctor comes, just raise bloody murder. Get someone up here. Thank you.
Aye, sir. Yes, sir.
You notice him like looking at the room for a moment. Francis, would you actually make a psychology roll for me?
I could certainly try that. That's an 18, which is another hard success.
You can tell that this is a man who wants to go in. He's fighting different feelings, and there's some part of him that wants to go listen to this woman, but there's also some part of him that really does not.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking, do you know what's going on with her?
It's not anything to be concerned about. She just listens to things, that's all.
He turns around and walks away.
What do you mind if what's her name in case that might just want to make her more comfortable? I can refer to her by name.
No, don't refer to her as anything.
Right. Noted, sir.
Her name is not of consequence.
He heads downstairs.
At the top of the paper, I'll write "not of consequence."
Effectively, yeah. Her name. He just refers to her as the listener. Dan, do you know? Do you recall having seen her before, Dan? Not as Francis, but as Dan.
No. This sounds very familiar. I don't quite recall, but yeah.
Yeah. I think actually, Siobhan and Conrad and Sarah. And Sarah, you did recognize this girl when you were up there.
Yes.
Yeah. And the judge saw this girl their very first session in a high room in the Walpole building. So, in any event, we're going to cut to Emma. You are in a sitting room this rather gloomy morning. There's a few other members of the order around, but you see three marks, people walk in, being James, Victor, and Sarah. I'm actually going to ask just for everyone in this. So Emma, if you would describe yourself, and then I'm actually going to ask James, Victor, and Sarah to also give us a description just so we know their vibes.
Yes.
So what does Emma look like, just so we know?
Sorry, I didn't realize we were starting with me.
Yeah. No problem.
So Emma is a fairly humble-looking woman, who is wearing a very simple frock and a blue cape, and she isn't exactly what you'd think of as beautiful, but very pale and delicate looking.
Okay. Ooh. Gonna roll a luck roll for myself. Nah. So, as you sort of watch, she's sort of sitting there. Sarah, Victor, and James, as you all walk in. James, describe James for us if we haven't heard James.
Yes, James has a very stiff collar. He's quite pale, with a strong face, like the face of a mountain. He has soft lips like that of a peach. Stunning dark eyes like a maelstrom. And the weight of the world on his shoulders. Yes.
James, can you describe Sarah for me?
Better.
Well, Sarah, shall I?
Oh wait, I don't think I ever described what I look like to you.
Mm-mm.
Well, Sarah is a younger, mid-20s.
We're gonna get it twice now.
But... What?
You're gonna do it, then he's gonna do it? Is that what's about to happen?
Yes. They're pretty, but not, any one that someone would, draw portraits of. She's dressed very well. She has just recently been married, and so she does have a almost ethereal glow about her that is easily explained away by her recently having wed. How does James see her?
Well, like a soft flower in the morning dew, glistening. Delicate quivering tongue. Gently. Like the dawn peeking through a set of mountains. And
Asthma attack.
I think what's great about that is how
she's
just...
quite homely.
Oh, all right. And then what does Victor look like, James? Don't tell him. I just want to hear, because it won't matter.
Yes.
Well, Victor, have you ever seen a fine piece of parchment paper, brittle and nearly translucent, like the veins of a leaf, clinging to life, experiencing silence like that between movements of a sonata?
Oh, God. So
he's all right. Yeah.
So basically, right. Emma, those three people walk in, and you all see this young woman in a blue cape, who is just sort of sitting there with a cup of tea or something. There's a footman here who will walk over to you all and say, "May I bring you something?"
Whiskey.
Oh yes, I as well. Good taste.
She'll fetch some whiskey. He sort of walks away. He raised an eyebrow at the 10:30 a.m. whiskey order, but I'm sure he's heard weirder. But you all see this young woman.
Oh, hello. What a beautiful cloak you have.
Well, thank you. You don't recognize it.
No, but I'm not from around here specifically. And I grew up even further away than where I had been previously. Is it a family heirloom?
No. But it's nice to meet you. What is your name?
Sarah Renee.
Nice to meet you, Sarah Renee.
And these are my dear friends, James and Victor.
Victor Moncrief Mortuary.
How do you do it? James Joffrey. That's Joffrey. That's James with a G. My friends call me James.
It's nice to meet you all. Would you like to join me for a tea party
Oh,
of sorts?
well, that sounds delightful.
Certainly, I have just ordered some whiskey, but I can put it in a teacup and we can pretend as if it's tea. How very fun is that?
Very grown up of you.
So, a footman comes with tea for everyone and a bottle of whiskey, which he sort of sets down, and he has it in like a whiskey glass or something. But if you're requesting it in a teacup, he will put your spirit in a teacup.
Yes, everyone must drink from teacups here. We're having a tea party.
Oh,
I love tea
yes, Mom.
parties and so eagerly grab
okay,
the
sure.
whiskey.
There is cream and sugar, so you could put cream and sugar in your whiskey. That would be
I will not.
good idea.
No,
So great.
of course not. Ridiculous.
So the rest of you have some tea, are gathered around.
Yes.
As I drink the whiskey, how does it taste now?
Fine. I mean, you can tell what it is, but it doesn't.
Okay.
Actually, Sarah, yeah, let's do it like this. So you take a
Oh
sip.
no!
That's great. Sarah, you take a sip of the whiskey, and it
Okay.
there's like the faintest trace of that warmth or numbness that when you would back when Conrad would shoot you in the face with whiskey, it would make your cheeks get numb, and you have this faint hint of it on your tongue, but it doesn't do much. The flavor is there. You taste it as whiskey, but it does taste dull and flat. And as this sort of pale little creature in front of you, with her cloak and her neck, there's just this part of you that's like, you don't want cream or sugar in your whiskey or your tea, but you wouldn't mind picking up that little butter knife with a tiny little sharp part on the end. And you'd love to just grab that and just drag it across this girl's throat like 5 or 6 times and just let it pour into the teacup, and then drink the teacup, and then just drink her blood. You can see her heart beating. You can feel that kind of thunk, thunk. You can feel James's next to yours, which is like I assume iambic. Pa-tum, 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 pa-tum. It's in pentameter. Emma's is just like pump, 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 pump. Victor's is like, but as you sort of hear the heartbeats. But this young woman's, it seems, go ahead and just give me a power roll.
Oh no. 56.
56. Okay. So basically, as you're all sitting there having a nice little tea party, the hunger is not fully upon you, Sarah, but there is this moment in which, as you're sort of sipping your tea and it doesn't taste good, and you feel sort of you can hear her heart beating. Emma, Sarah suddenly reaches across the table and sort of grabs your shoulder, and she has Sarah, you're grabbing the butter knife in the other hand, but you don't do anything, but you do that almost instantly. Almost. So suddenly Sarah has grabbed your shoulder, Emma, maybe pulled you almost towards her slightly. She's clattered a couple of plates over there. James and Victor, you see this.
I read her and figure out what's going on.
Make a psychology roll. And so what you'll do is you will roll a D100.
Yes.
You're mildly good at these.
Mildly good at psychology.
Roll a D100.
All right.
Preferably a
I
50.
did, and I rolled a 69.
Okay, throw it up in chat, everyone. This is guys. We've trained for this. We have drills for this. Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
Excellent. Give
All
us the
right.
notices.
But that is a success for you. So,
Yes, it is.
with a normal success against this young woman just seems like very anxious, and she seemed to have just had some like strange fit come over her. You don't sense any malice. You don't sense any, but you sense that she's very adrift and sort of confused and nervous, just very anxious.
So can I attempt to soothe her with my voice?
Sure. That would be... What is your primary? It is, I like that this is what it is for you. Make a fast talk roll.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to very soothingly ask her if she's all right and tell her to please feel safe here. And I rolled. I rolled a 9.
So, Sarah.
Yes.
This woman just instantly sort of puts you at ease. She's just, she seems to have just homed in immediately on the fact that you're nervous, that you're upset, and that you're totally safe now. And instantly you can relax your grip on her. That sort of instantaneous feeling you have, you're very taken with her, and perhaps you still want to do what you were just thinking of. But at this moment, it's just, she's so nice. She seems like such a nice, delightful friend.
I'm like stroking the side of her face like this.
I'm so sorry. I don't think whiskey was a good idea right now. I must are there any more of those sausages that we had yesterday?
This morning.
This morning. I'm going to go and see if there are any. I think I need to eat more, and I will go find the blood sausages.
Oh, understood.
And look for Etienne if he's there. But
perfect. Make a luck roll.
Okay.
And in the meantime, James and Victor, you're left sitting here with this very charismatic young woman in a
49, which is a success.
49. Etienne is not hard to find. He's kind of just like you. Basically, Sarah will get to you, sort of stumbling to Etienne in a moment, and you can speak to him.
Okay.
However, at this time, we do have to cut to the doctor. Doctor, you're running. You're running as fast as you can. You hear someone shouting alarum. As you head in the direction that you think will get you back to the main foyer, you actually do see the staircase leading down. Could you please make a spot hidden roll for me? And I'm going to give you one penalty on this. So roll 2 of this dice. Unless you want to, however, you don't. So basically, you're going to roll 2 of the tens place and use the higher one. However, if you want to avoid this penalty, you could slow down. You could stop running.
Is
No.
this about...
Yeah,
I'm
James,
a run.
you're going to run.
Nothing.
So yeah, so basically roll the d10 one time, this one 2 times, and use the higher number on this one.
What is that second one?
This is, so of the D100, so you're rolling these 2 every time. So you're going to roll this one twice and this one only once.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Liv, could you roll a D20 and a D10 for me? I haven't done this for this character yet. Totally forgot.
Okay. All right.
All right.
What numbers of this do you need?
So I need the one on your one that just has the single digits, and then I need the higher of this thing, and you are rolling against a 71. This is spot hidden for you.
Okay.
So what number did you roll?
So on the single digit, I got a 4. And on the double digit, I got a 20.
A 20?
That's the highest one I got.
Oh wow, nice. Okay, well then great. Yes, then you have gotten a hard success. So in spite of running really quickly, you know that you are at the landing. You know that you came up this landing earlier, but all the paintings are gone. In their place, there's a tapestry. In addition, you don't see the light fixtures on the wall.
How close is this guy on my tail?
He's rushing after you. He's not. He was kind of like he was half walking and you sort of sprinted out. So he's like 10 seconds behind you or so. And he's also not running quite as fast as you are. He's calling, and you do hear like people coming from somewhere. But at this moment, you are alone on this landing.
Could I make a stealth roll?
So first of all, let's yes, I'll tell you what. You can make a stealth roll. First, make a luck roll.
Luck,
which is up at the top. Yeah.
My luck is 69.
His luck is 69. Nice.
50.
All right, so as it happens, there are some little like dark corners are here, and as you've turned a corner, in fact, wait, I set it up already. One of the tapestries hanging on the wall, you could easily hide behind Polonius style. So, you could dive behind a tapestry and just kind of just kind of get your feet sort of like stand on your tiptoes and be back there and just hope no one sees you behind it. So please make a stealth roll.
Okay. 46.
46. So you manage to hide behind a tapestry.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
You are behind a tapestry. Very good. You hear people running past you, and he just kind of keeps running, and he says, you hear his voice saying, "Listen, guards, did a man come this way?" And you actually hear like the clanging sounds of metal. It's a very strange sound, Dr. Faust. Not one you're particularly familiar with, kind of footsteps with these kind of metal clanking, like. And a voice says, "My lord, no, I've seen no one come, sir." And he says, "Very well. Search the grounds. There is a doctor." And he begins to describe you to them. They say, "Very well, Keeper. Thank you, Lord Keeper." And they begin sort of moving, and you hear his footsteps for a while, and then he sort of, "Oh, damn it." And he just sort of marches off in some other direction. So you're hidden behind a tapestry, Dr. Faust.
So when the coast is clear, I'd like to sneakily exit the tapestry.
Wonderful.
I know where I'm going. I'm not going down the stairs.
Where are you going?
I'm going all in. I'm going to the room.
Which room?
I want to go to the girls' room.
Perfect. All right, Dr. Faust. From where you are, you do remember how to get there. I'm not going to make you roll any navigations. You did hear people are looking for you. So make one more stealth roll for me as you try to get to that place.
58.
58 is just a success. So, Dr. Faust, basically, you run down the steps, but there is and kind of, we'll say that you're trying to move and you're looking around so much, you make it sort of across the foyer, and it's not until you're in that other hallway that you quite realize that, man, the decorators must have really changed things fast around here. Like, you're not seeing any of the, like none of the gas lamps and the fixtures on the walls. They seem to have removed a lot of the like the carpeting in areas. Everything just looks like you're pretty sure you've been in some of these rooms before, and they didn't seem quite so old. In addition, when you hide behind doors here and look around, you actually see that maybe they've asked the footmen to, maybe they're about to do a play or something. There are men walking around in armor. Like in metal, in plate armor, with chainmail and axes, and they're sort of like looking around as if looking for you. But you don't recall any sort of, costumed actors here earlier. Nevertheless, Dr. Faust, with that roll, you make it to that turret and you begin going up, back and forth across those various stairs. When you get to, I believe we said it was the 3rd floor landing, It was literally the third floor landing. So when you get to the third floor landing of that turret, I want you to make another spot hidden roll for me.
49.
Excellent. I think yes, a 49 is
Regular
a regular success. So as you look around, you notice that there is a woman, and you have this odd sense of deja vu. For last night, when you, Victor, James, and Sarah were coming upstairs, you saw a woman sort of dressed in black who was in this hallway, if you recall her. And you see that she's in the hallway once again. She's kind of walking, and sort of as you approach, you did, however, I'm going to say you've succeeded on a stealth generally, so I'm going to roll a look for her to just see if she happens to see you as you arrive. 87. So she's just kind of like as you can tell there's someone there. You look around a corner, and she's not looking at you. She's just sort of pacing, looking nervous. But it's that woman, probably in her 40s, kind of sort of in an old-fashioned sort of dress, and she's just sort of pacing and seems in an odd mood.
She can't see me.
Yeah, you can easily get past her without her seeing you.
I'm just gonna keep sneaking past her.
Understood. So, you go up and up the tower. And as you sort of are going up the stairs, coming up to that landing, you remember last time there was somebody waiting on that landing up there. So as you're kind of creeping around and looking up in that direction, we're going to cut to Francis Brannigan. Francis Brannigan, you're standing at the top of that landing.
Right.
Could you make a listen roll for me?
Right, I can try that. Yeah, that's 37, which is a success.
Success. You actually hear some footsteps coming up the stairs.
Does it sound like the boss man who came up earlier?
Does not. It sounds more furtive, like someone like sneaking.
Hello there?
There's no reply.
I'll take a peek over the stairs. Look down.
There's nobody on the stairs. You see no one.
Right. I guess I'll just go in there and I'll go back into the room and I'll take notes. I'm supposed to be taking notes of everything that she's saying, so.
She kind of is turning back. It's interesting. Most of them she's been staring out of the window. But this time when you walk in the room, she's turned around in her chair, like looking over the top of it, staring right at you.
Morning. Are you a little more alert now?
You're one of the loud ones now.
What does that? What do you mean?
She just sits down. Staring back out as the rain is just sweeping in waves across the window.
Well, I guess I'll just sit there and gonna sit in the corner of the room and I'll hold on to get my pen and paper out and I'll just be ready to take notes if she says anything.
The skies they were ashen and sober, the leaves they were crisped and sere, the leaves they were withering and sere. It was night in the lonesome October of my most immemorial year.
She kind of just turns and stares right at you.
Would you, as I'm writing this down, would you be able to tell me what that means, ma'am?
It's quiet. It's quiet.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I want to help you. I don't know. Is there anything? Do you need water? Anything I can get you?
And I know that I'm damned if I never get out, and maybe I'm damned if I do. But with every other beat I've got left in my heart, I'd rather be damned with you. And she's just now muttering more wild things.
I'm trying to scribble as much as I can get down onto paper.
Make a your own language roll. So I guess a 50 for you. Oh wait, no, not you. I'm looking at the right sheet.
65 for me.
65 for you.
That's 15, so hard success.
Hard success. You're getting down a lot of what she's saying, but she seems very agitated.
Yeah, I don't know if it's safe to leave her alone, so I'll just sit here and keep writing.
Great. In the meantime, I love how I have an unprecedented 6 players in a game of this, and what I'm doing is further separating them. So
Amazing.
Sarah, as you sort of are moving swiftly through the halls, just looking for something, kind of like you hear heavy heartbeats behind a door, and you can feel blood pumping through veins behind another one. As you're sort of walking, kind of like quickly, like trying to find just something to give you some succor, you suddenly run right into the arms of your husband, who sort of grabs you as you walk.
Okay.
He says, "My darling, what is wrong? Are you not all right?"
I need to eat.
Oh, do you?
Not. Yes, and I almost attacked a woman in the sitting room.
Oh, that would have been terrible. I am so glad that you were able to restrain yourself. But he kind of looks around.
I'm gonna have him make a luck roll, actually. With a 20,
he will say, "Yes. Yes, come, my darling."
You guys like peek around a corner, and there's a kitchen maid who's like a scullery maid, basically.
Does she look like a bitch though? Does she look mean?
Make a luck roll.
Rude.
I don't like eating nice people. That's 78.
She looks like the sweetest little thing you've ever seen. There's this absolute darling, 56, yeah.
No, 78. Oh.
Yeah, your score's
my
56, so
luck.
you failed.
Yeah. Jeez, don't say it that way.
So, there's a scullery maid. She looks like a sweet girl. She's kind of softly humming a song to herself about and the king bee named his honey, and the moon is very sweet.
Wait, do I have to kill to eat?
Sarah, it's much easier to kill them, but you don't have to. You'll have to explain why she won't, it's harder to do, but if you want to try to not kill her, you can tell Etienne that, and he'll try to make that happen.
Yes.
So
I would like to avoid killing her.
What?
She has not done anything to me. If she had done something to me, perhaps then I wouldn't feel guilty about consuming her entirely. However,
Well, it is not easy to make her not realize what has been done, my darling. I can try to sort of help her mind a bit if you want.
okay.
All right. My darling, excuse me, miss, mademoiselle. And she sort of looks up. Oh, yes, sir. Hello, ma'am.
And he sort of, he kind of like guides you in, and he closes the door to the scullery behind the two of you.
And he will say, "My darling, can you assist my wife with something of a rather delicate nature for a moment? Wouldn't you rather have a lady's maid?"
No, I think you'll do just fine.
All right. Come here, my dear.
Walks over, and he sort of puts his hand on the small of your back, and Sarah, you can feel about this however you want to, but he's doing it in that very sort of intimate way. And then he leans in a little too close and whispers to you, and you can feel that ambrosial sort of feeling of that scent of his breath as he whispers in your ear.
Speak to her how I speak to her.
And then he sort of looks at her and goes,
"My dear, come and stand before us,
and you can see the power of his persona. He is channeling some sort of presumably divine sort of like kind of like compelling some kind of divine command.
Okay.
I rolled an 11. I want a 13 so fucking bad. However, he rolls an 11, which for him is a super. So she just stands, like, she gets this glazed look in her eyes and just kind of comes and stands right before you. And you can feel him. You can tell that there was something different in his voice. And now he's like gripping kind of like the side of your hip as he's whispering to you again, saying, "Your kind can do this as well as mine. You can charm. You can command. Tell her what you want."
Exactly what I want.
Whatever you want.
Okay. I'll go look at her and say, "I'm going to take something from you, and I don't want you to tell anyone. Do you understand?"
Sarah, roll a charm. Actually, wait, before you roll a charm.
Okay.
You're feeling this power within you. If you'd like to, you can spend 2 magic points.
How many magic? Do I ever get them back?
You get 1 back an hour.
I will. 2 to what? To succeed automatically?
No, to say it how Etienne said it.
Oh! I will do that.
Okay, so mark down you're spending 2 magic points, and then roll a charm.
Okay. 39, which is a hard success.
So as you sort of speak to her, she sort of,
"You're going to take something from me?"
And you will never tell anyone.
"I'll never tell anyone."
And can I put my hands around her face?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say,
And you're going to like it.
"And I'm going to like it."
Etienne then swoops in even closer and says,
"No, you're going to love it."
and so I'll pull her,
Yeah.
like as if, like almost touching her lips, and then move to her neck.
okay, cool. So you, as your fangs sink in, is Etienne gonna do some lame thing here, or some just? He is actually, as you sink your fangs in, and just as you're beginning to get like a hint of, just as you're about to get the faintest hint of blood, Etienne like rips your head back, and then just like pushes you back into it. He just holds it away for you for just a split second.
Are there going to be fan fictions written about this? Because if y'all are going to
that's
write them,
hot.
I want to read them.
It's kind of hot. Kind of hot.
Anyway, you do this to this girl. After she bites, and with that, we'll cut away from that scene to the 3 people together. And we'll peel one of you guys off somehow, don't you worry. So, I see in chat that Bruce Pumper leads it. Bruce Pumper says, this is your fantasy? What does he say? With that, Victor, Emma, and James.
Yes.
You are all sitting together. Basically, you're sitting with these 2 gentlemen. I'll phrase it like this. Emma, you found someone who seemed to really be looking for what you could give her, and then she ran away. You touched her face. She seemed
fortunate,
quelled by it, and then she ran off. So now you're here with an elderly mortician and a poetical young man, as you all drink tea.
Good tea.
Yes, it's quite lovely. So what are you doing here? What are you looking for?
We are here as members of the Order to experience the occult, are we not? What brings you here, young lady?
Oh, I'm just here to spread good word.
Oh, and what word might that be?
When you're ready, and sir, I turn to James.
James
And
Gaffney.
you? Yeah. And what brings you here? Are you also looking to explore the occult?
Well, I mean, ostensibly, I'm here as part of my duty. My mother is into this sort of thing, so I am merely here as an observer, as one might look through a telescope at the sun.
Do I get the
moon.
sense that he has mommy issues?
I will leave that for. I'm gonna say with your basic psychology, James, you can just answer that question for her.
No, not really. More just like very, just like he's like fucking over his family. Is really what it's more. It's less like, oh, like mommy dearest, and more just like I have to do this. Like a large amount of guilt and weight.
Barry's just gonna pat his hand very gently and say, "You feel a large weight of debt to your family, do you not?"
I do. Yes. It's a crushing weight.
Perhaps we can alleviate that for you.
That would be too good to be true. But
You'll find everything can be perfect.
perfection is something that very few are entitled to. Certainly not one of my past. But your touch and your eyes are soft like the baby's face. Do you hear that barking? It's fortuitous, isn't it?
Oh, like a baby's face.
So perfect.
Emma, by the way, you can sort of incorporate this. It's not a thing that is driving, but I just sent you a message of
Yes.
what that role was. So
I see.
incorporate that to whatever degree you'd want to. I'll also put that.
It works so well for this.
Oh,
Actually.
it's actually great for it. Yeah. You can do some fun. You can do some really fun stuff with that. In any case, so Victor, as you sort of see the words that this young woman is sort of saying to him, I am going to cut away from you guys. I feel like I should stay with you guys for 3 times as long, but nothing's going to top a baby's face. So,
Fine.
Dr. Faust.
Be clear, nothing should top a baby's face.
Oh my god. This is... Guys, we live in Thor 2, The Dark World. Dr. Faust, you have crept up to that turret. And what you see on that top landing is very different from what had been there. Or first of all, there was a banister and carpeting and a couple of little chairs up there. Now there are not. Not only that, you hear the patter of rain, and the glass window on this landing is gone. The water is actually like drops of the rain from outside are coming into this sort of very sort of like more sort of simply built, almost temporary looking floor that's up here.
Can I like appraise some of the things around me to like maybe try to figure out like what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, why is this castle so different?
Sure. Let's do a... Your Stats for these things are interesting.
Yeah.
Sure, try an appraise. Why not? That's fun. God, Dr. Faust is not the right guy for this to be happening to.
No.
What'd you roll?
I failed.
What was it? Because certain numbers mean things today.
78.
78. Okay, cool. Sadly, none of the things that are helpful. I'm gonna let you make a couple crazy rolls. Also, make a history roll because that's also not a great one for you.
Oh wait, I failed, but it's 24.
24. Okay, great. So you,
That was close.
there's this general feeling as you're looking around. Everything about this makes some sense, but this last one you kind of have more of a thing out, but it's going to be less of a thing. Up in your orange box at the top, make an intellect roll. You actually have very high intellect, but so you're you're trying to be like, what money, what history, like what's going on? You have no idea, but you're still trying to put some pieces together here.
Yes. Let's see, I got a hard success.
What did you roll? Is it a 13 by any chance?
17.
17. Well, I can't have nice things.
Oh, wait. 13. No, I didn't do a 13.
Yeah, 13s are only good for me. Dr. Faust, as you look around, you're getting this dark feeling. It's probably something that part of you has realized, but you've just been moving and you're like, I can't deal with this. Either they have changed things so considerably in the span of about, overnight, perhaps you haven't been here since last night, or you were not in the castle you were in yesterday. You were not in the castle you were in earlier today. You are confident that you are in the same tower that you were in, but things have changed. Everything looks old. In places it's unfinished.
These guys must have a great decorator. Oh my god.
Fair enough. So the door into that chamber is there.
I am 200% going in.
Understood. Are you going in slow, going in fast?
Is the door locked?
The door does not appear to be locked.
I'm going in slow. Gentle.
So, Dr. Faust, you open the door. Francis
gets it.
Francis. You look back as the door to the room just swings open.
Do I see anyone there?
Make a spot hidden roll.
It's 33, so it's a success.
No. Normal success, no. Dr. Faust, you were in this room last night, but there is no bed here. There is no there's no chair by the window. There's no sort of various stacks of all her luggage that you'd seen last night. This room is empty except for two things. One, there is this bizarre sort of antique, you probably would know what the thing is, but there's basically this like very, very old-fashioned, very intricate looking telescope at that window.
And what is the second thing?
The second thing is a woman wearing a robe of sort of like a kind of like what's the term? What's the not gradient meaning? Where it's like purple, but it like goes from darker purple to light purple.
Ombre.
Right.
I thought that was only hair. Okay, gotcha. That ombre
Oh.
of kind of like going from the one to the other of like from dark purple to kind of these light purple. And she is holding in her hand, which is kind of, she's holding these like pieces of chalk in her hand. And on the stone floor of this chamber, she seems to be in the process of drawing something. And she just sort of stands up, kind of like, hello?
I would like to roll for charm.
Okay, go ahead and charm her. Just go ahead and roll for charm. Just you come in with charm. We'll do a charm roll. That's fine.
While this is happening, I'm aware this is happening. Can I go and try and close the door?
Sure, you can close the door, no problem. Not a problem at all. Must have been the wind, right? Old castles, am I right?
I got a hard success.
Hard success. She kind of just pauses and lets you sort of say a few charming things. And she'll say, "What's..."
You know what? I pick my lab coat, brush my shirt, say, "How's it cooking? Good looking?"
Oh, what? Looking at... I'm... what an odd way of speaking you have. What is your name, gentle sir?
Dr. Faust Simpleton. MD.
MD, a doctor?
Yes.
A man of letters, a doctor of medicine?
Yeah, pretty good at it.
Are you here to serve the king?
The king?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm the new royal doctor. Brand new, in fact.
Make a deceive roll. Or a deceive, whatever it's called.
Does that call something different?
I am so sorry. In this, it is called something called fast talk.
I'm very bad at this. I failed.
What'd you roll?
40.
40, okay.
40.
Someday I'll get a 13. So Dr.
One
Faust, as you, as this woman,
I see. Dr. Faust. My name is
That's my name?
Matthias.
Oh, that's a good name.
Thank you. I chose it myself. It is a particular constellation of significant.
That's very
letters and
rare. Not a lot of
characters.
people get to pick one name.
Well, I can.
Good for you.
Well, please come in. I'm just in the process of attempting something.
Could I actually? No, I'm not going to be too crazy. Never mind. I take it back.
Okay.
I debated doing something wild.
I mean, always.
So tell me, Wild, what is your drawing on the floor?
Oh, this is a circle, a sacred circle. I'm not
Like
quite
a
sure if
circle.
it's going to be a summoning circle, or a circle of sort of protection, or a circle of divination. But I know I need something. My wife had the most awful dream last night.
So I'm guessing you're into the occult. Do you know much about ghosts?
Well, Dr. Faust? What is it you want to know?
Well, you see, when I was a kid,
Lightning outside. Yes.
a ghost pushed me down the steps. And
A ghost pushed you down the stairs.
and I've been bitter ever since. Jeez.
Would you like to find that ghost?
Can we do that?
Of course.
Ooh. You know what? You only live once. I'm down.
Truer words never spoken in this game.
She begins to draw more on the stone circle on the floor. You don't know the name of the ghost, do you?
I don't. My back was turned.
Oh, of course. Well, she begins making these strange symbols around the edge of the circle. It is a relatively easy thing to peer beyond the veil. For one such as I. You are the royal doctor, is that correct?
So they say.
Well, I am His Grace's royal magician.
A magician? Do you know how to pull a rabbit out of a hat? It's my favorite trick.
No. What does one do with a rabbit once they pull it out of the hat?
Well, if you succeeded this, I got magic to teach you too. There it is.
Let us find your ghost.
She kind of makes a few more preparations. She begins to cast something, but then, Dr. Faust, the door opens. Francis, no door opens for you. But the door opens. And Dr. Faust, you see sort of standing there, kind of silhouetted from the brighter light out there in the darkness, but you can tell who it is. That gentleman with the sharp face, in the black garb, with the black horse on the chest, sort of walks in, and she says, "Ah, Lord Keeper." And he says, "My lady magician." "Ah, the doctor has found himself here.
To where I said I was going.
This is the room where you saw me in the shadows."
It's a little bit different, but seems about right.
Different? Anaphias looks at you. Different how?
I guess you could say there were different things inside this room last time I saw it.
When was that?
Yesterday. So you can imagine my confusion that everything is so different now.
She and the Lord Keeper exchange a look. Lord Keeper, I must see to my wife. Would you excuse me, Doctor? And she begins to leave the room. So, we will cut away. To Victor, Emma, and James once again.
So, how long have you been part of the Order, Miss Emma?
Oh, the Order.
Yes, aren't we all part of the Order here?
Oh, yes. That Order.
I got so many things going on right now. You guys don't even know.
No worries. No worries. No worries.
You yes, and just for clarity, yes, you are here as part of a weekend where they invited various members. They say they have a large announcement to make. Yes.
I was like, I'm actually not sure if I'm part of the Order or not. Well, you know, time has very little meaning in the end. It feels like forever and just yesterday.
Oh, in the end, yes. There is a peace with the end, is there not? A silence.
Well, a whole piece, one would hope.
A whole peace, all nothingness. It doesn't quite matter much when it's all said and done, now does it?
Is that what you feel?
What I feel is irrelevant, but what I know is that things matter more and less in silence, in death. It's hard to grasp, really.
Who says death is necessary?
Tell me more.
Why? How long have you been with the Order, sir?
Too long to remember.
Love that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Since my 20s, so 100 years.
And yet it feels like yesterday. Yes?
Perhaps,
Hmm.
what particularly interests you about the order, the occult? What brings you here? Truly.
Oh, tea parties.
Good tea.
Good tea. Things being pretty and in their place. And you?
Again, the afterlife, death, is being connected to the spirit realm is more interesting to me than being connected to corporeal form.
I see. What is it about being connected to your corporeal form that makes you so afraid?
It's not fear. It's more tiredness. It's discomfort. I prefer to be alone with the dead in my work.
Do you fear aging?
Oh, I do not. Someday, I will age out of existence, and that is bliss, my dear.
I got a read on him.
Make a psychology roll if you want. But go ahead and make a psychology roll. But
Okay. It's a 74.
you don't get any. Victor, I'll say this: Victor compared to James and Sarah seems like a much worse prospect for you.
Okay, that's what I figured.
All
Yep.
right. So, we're gonna leave off there. There's a lot going on today. Sarah, you are full. We'll kind of do a brief scene as your husband is like you've sort of sat to the side. This girl's very sort of pale, very anemic at this point, and he's just kind of like helping tend her wound. And in fact, he's using his angelic, that golden glows in his fingers, covering the holes on her neck.
Sick.
And he says, "You will be all right, my dear." She says, "I won't tell anyone ever, and I love them."
This is your fantasy.
And Sarah will go to her and very sincerely say, "Thank you," and kiss her on the cheek. And turn to
As you do that, she,
No.
with this frail little hand, she grabs your arm
And says, "Please do it again."
Etienne sort of chuckles. In time, my dear. In time.
And Sarah will turn away, but looking over her shoulder.
Etienne kind of puts a hand around your waist and guides you out of the room.
And he's saying, "My darling, you're kind. You can have so many enthralled like this at once. You go between them to feed, to get what you need. You can hunt them, finding exactly what you want, and never hurting anyone. Is this what you would want?"
Yes.
"Yes. I think I want this for you."
So, James, I'm kind of just gonna do a check-in with James. James, what do you think's going on with Emma here? What's your read on this woman? Are you 100% in the tank already for her? Are you already proposing sonnets? What's your vibe on her?
Well, I think she's a delightful young lady. an empath, one who would probably enjoy rhymed couplet or sonnet.
Mhm.
I think that she most likely enjoys a metaphor, like a wonderful person would. Or a simile, as everyone who is educated would.
Oh, James. Francis. We're gonna go to you now.
Right.
You're sitting there with a girl. She sort of, once again, has stopped muttering. She's covering her ears. She's absolutely terrified. She's shaking.
I'll rush over. Is everything all right? Are you doing okay? No, anything look amiss with her?
I'm gonna give you an option of what you want to roll, and this will say something kind of about what Francis would do. Do you want to make a first aid check to see if she's all right? Or do you want to listen to see if you can hear what she hears?
We'll make a listen check.
Make a listen. Francis. She grabs...
Oh my god! God damn, it's a 12! That's a 12, Philip! That's a fucking 12!
It's okay. It's okay.
Can I gain a luck to make it a 13?
No, unfortunately, no.
God damn it, Dan!
You cannot gain a luck to make it a 13.
Stop!
No, it is.
But that's actually an extreme success.
An extreme success. Oh, Francis, I was really hoping you'd say extreme, because that will make this all much creepier and eerier. So, Francis, as you listen, she's trying to cover her ears. At first, you think and it's hard to tell over the storm, but you suddenly hear this, like, scraping sound of... It's not stone on stone. It's almost like the sound of, like, pebbles bouncing on concrete. This kind of just like... But you definitively hear it, and with an extreme, you can tell that it is coming from the center of this room, on the floor. There's a wooden floor in this chamber. You can feel something below it. Some kind of stone and stone. After a few moments, the sounds end, and a strange stillness comes over the room, but you were sure that something just happened in the center of this chamber.
Right, I'm gonna look at the woman. I'm gonna say, listen, do you mind? I'm gonna go take a look at and see what that was. You're gonna be okay if you sit right here?
For crying out loud, I know I love you. When you're crying out loud, you know I love you.
I'm gonna go take a look at that spot on the floor in the middle of the room.
All right. At first glance, nothing is different. But you do have this feeling, this almost impulse, Francis, that you should look under the floorboards. There's a couple places where they're a little rotted, a little broken, a little empty.
Try and pull up one of the boards.
Make a strength roll. Well, let's give you one more shot at some cool roll. You know how it goes.
44, so regular success.
So basically, you begin ripping up the floorboard, and you find it's actually like these. This is very old.
I'm trying to do. I want to do it carefully so I can try and put it back.
Oh, understood. So you're kind of just pulling some stuff up, and After you pull up a floorboard or two, you see something kind of like on the stone. Something eerie. Something familiar. You see bone.
Right. It's like one bone. How many bones are there?
A few finger bones. Connecting to hand bones. Connected to the arm bone.
So I look underneath, can I see the whole skeleton?
If you begin to pull it up, what you find is a skeleton. The strange thing about this skeleton, which seems to be hundreds of years old, almost entirely decomposed, is it is wearing a white coat that seems very modern, stained with blood in places.
I mean, I recognize it as a doctor's coat, right?
You recognize it as a doctor's coat, and I'm actually gonna make an intellect roll, Francis.
88 as a failure.
Right now, it looks like a doctor's coat, but this body's so old. Maybe it's a priest's frock or something. You're not sure.
Something weird, something old as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In the same place in this room, as Dr. Faust Simpleton lies dying on the ground of several knife wounds, as that sort of black-clad man is just sort of stabbing down. Dr. Faust, one last question I'll have for you. Do you have any last words, and do you have a position in which your body lies? You're basically in the middle of that, like, chalky circle.
My last words. I shouldn't have come to this funky-ass castle with these weirdos. And I want to die. No special position.
Okay, cool. You just
No special.
you just sort of die that and then the last thing you hear as this keeper sort of carves into you with his mean-looking blade is, and the worst thing for you, you haven't even come here yet. Francis, as you look over this body, you feel this shiver on your back. Make one more look roll for me.
Is look roll or spot hidden?
I'm so sorry, it is a spot hidden. Guys, I'm always going to mess that up.
That's an 80, which is a failure.
A failure. Francis, you kind of look back, and you see that dark corner where you thought you saw someone earlier. You see no one. As you turn back and look at this ancient corpse you've discovered, the camera turns back to that, where we see the keeper with the sharp face watching in this room. A dark smile as he looks at his old handiwork. It's not often he's reminded of that which he wrought in life. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Woo!
So I want to mention, by the way, first of all, R.I.P. Dr. Faust. I mentioned to Moses I was going to do a thing where if he went to that room, I haven't done this in a thing. I sort of said to him, like, there's a chance that you're just going to, like, die off camera in a horrible way. And he's like, whatever. And I said, usually in RPGs, there's chances not to, but since this is a horror one, I kill people so easy. I've really wanted to do a circumstance where it's somebody maybe dies off camera and then a thing is found in a crazy way like this. So that was real fun. So R.I.P. Dr. Faust. Also, not really R.I.P. so much as R.I. under the floorboards that they put over you and just left him there. Yeah, that's how that guy rolls.
Don't worry. Somehow I'll be back.
Yeah. Well, and you will be back as another character as well. But that. So yes, that was the dark fate of Dr. Faust, who stepped out of time in Castle Caliginoira, which I don't know. Anaphias, that's interesting. Yeah, Liv remembered that from the castle. The crypt of Anaphias is where a bunch of people got really badly burned, and I think one of your characters died there, Dan, like a professor you had, and it like the whole thing like collapsed on it as yeah.
I thought it was the statue of the angel.
It was not the statue.
For a second.
No. So. Wild. Well, that was fun. Thank you all so much for playing in this. Thanks to the cast. I know that it's
sexual.
It's always interesting when we have it's always interesting we have so many players, and yes, everyone is in separate places. So I'm sure in our next session we will try to gather everyone together, just so we're not all kind of off doing our own thing for so long. But
spread apart.
At the same time, things like this are often very fun, especially especially in a landmark. You know what though? It was a 65. We didn't even get another dread.
That's amazing.
Sad news. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I also thanks to everyone, and a special shout out to Apostrophe This for just so many of those gift subs. That's so kind of you to do. For that hype train.
112 total. 112 gift subs.
112 gift subs?
Yeah. 112 total.
That's like, guys.
Crazy.
That's like
Apostrophe is a total of 21 subs tonight.
But wait. If you think about that that means you that means you've given nearly 10 years of subs to this channel.
Oh, that's true.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. That's very appreciated, and thank you.
Sponsored by Apostrophe This.
Yeah, apparently.
And we have a bunch of other people to thank as well.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, please thank everybody else.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right. So, Book and Dagger resubscribed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have Ben Hader cheering with 100 bits tonight. Apostrophe This, started out with giving out 5 community sub gifts. We had a hype train. We even had players on here cheering with bits. Apostrophe This gave 5 more. We had more cheering. Book and Dagger, some players. Book and Dagger again cheering. Galanorian Saber gifted a month tier sub. Apostrophe This cheered with bits. Sirius is a Jedi cheering with bits. Book and Dagger cheering with bits. Apostrophe This 5 more community sub gifts. Galanorian Saber gifting another month. Apostrophe This 5 more gifts. More people doing bits. We had a Murder Hobos and Chocobros raid us with a party of 5 tonight.
Oh.
We had our hype train was complete at level 7 this evening. Apostrophe This.
Wait, we got to level 7?
We got to level 7. Then Apostrophe This was like, I'm gonna just give another month sub to Galanorian Saber. Minnesota Twins came through and gave a community sub gift, and then ones in chat subscribed with Prime this evening, and we had a bunch of followers.
Also, Zane Swords gave a gift as well.
Zane Swords. Well, guys, if we got to 7, then I need to open.
Wait, one more dice. One more die.
Oh,
Also,
this might be 2.
Quick, if anyone's uncomfortable with us talking about their bits on stream, let us know.
Ooh.
Do you see how happy that made him?
It made him so happy. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is yet another one of the Witch's Brew, but we now have a D12.
Nice.
And I think with that, they've gotten very good about this. We have 2012, the thing. Yeah, we now have a mismatched complete set of the first set.
Hi,
So,
excellent.
Very fun. Well, that's amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for all of that. Yes, if we were like a PBS broadcast, we would say like Long Lost Lore or Blood from a Stone is sponsored by the Apostrophe This Foundation. The whatever. Yeah,
the James L. Knight. And
the James L. Knight family and the something, and by generous support by viewers like you.
The National Endowment for the Arts.
The National.
Yeah.
They stopped. They do not support us. And there's always one company in there. There's always, and then it'll be like, and FedEx office.
Yeah.
Oh wait, here's a question. After which episode did the NEA stop supporting us?
2.
Probably the last
very
one of Blood from a Stone because of the sex scene.
Yeah,
well, it would have been Voluptua, or it would have
Pretty
been.
crowded.
It might have been when Bruce Pumper came in.
No, we actually lost all sponsors of Bruce Bumper. So Moses, I'm very sad to see Dr. Faust go out. But
Dr. Faust.
at the same time, I really enjoyed that, and I really liked some of the stuff he was saying to Anaphius. That was a fun beat. Poor the bride of Anaphius.
Welcome to the club of people who've introduced and lost a character all in one game.
My first character ever died.
No, this is Dr. Faust's third. He's been here this is his third session.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I haven't been around.
Yeah.
So never mind. Sorry, everybody. I haven't been here.
I
thought he was new today.
No,
like,
he's
I'm surprised he survived his first session. He wandered off right away.
He first move was, and I'm gonna go off my own here. Here we go. Yeah. That was great. Well, everybody, thank you so much. This was so fun. I really enjoyed this. We've now done every 13 of these. Just feels like such a cool milestone of Blood from a Stone. So I really enjoy this. Thanks to everyone for playing. We have other things going on this channel, like and such as on Sunday. Liv, I'll ask you about this if you want to do a thing. And various people on Sunday. We do not have a More Wretched Hive because we are out some players. So, but because Beth will be there, we're going to be doing a Dr. Tata episode of Star Trek.
Nice.
So we're going to be doing a Star Trek thing. So if any of a bunch of other Star Trek people are here, so if any of them want to do, we can talk about it. I know Dan's never available on Sundays, but we'll talk about that as a thing off stream. But we will at least be having Dr. Tata on Star Trek on Sunday evening for more episodes. Our last episode was a huge turning point for the Noteworthy, as they're aboard a new Noteworthy. So it's going to be a lot of fun and crazy stuff. On Monday, Civilized Age, with also the game known as Mom and Dad Fight. So we have Lauren and Dan as a very acrimoniously divorced couple who are just trying to find their kids.
Hell yeah.
And last time it was real fun because things almost came to blows within the party, as a witch knight almost killed you guys for inviting a different guy on and he wasn't sure who you could trust. It was delightful, and it's only going to get more upbeat and positive from here. So please join us on Monday at 7:30 p.m. here on the channel. I think then on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I might do another Star Trek game. We might have those be off this week. And then on Friday, we'll be back here with another one of these fun games. And then a couple more things happen. But then on the following Tuesday, the 25th, we begin the Blood from a Stone week. 7 consecutive days of Blood from a Stone leading up to Halloween. So many fun things going on there. I'm really, really excited about that. So it's going to be really, really good. I hope it is, at least. Or it'll just be really upsetting and it'll just be a bunch of one-shots where they all die. And really, that's what we're looking for. That is that. Anybody else want to plug anything? Have anything else they want to talk about?
Yes, on Tuesdays, come if you like spooky things. I'm streaming a spooky game called Control. It's real creepy. It's from 5 to 7 on Pacific. On Pacific, yes.
On Pacific Avenue.
Come tune in for this wonderful method of speaking.
527 Pacific Avenue.
Yes. Here on Twitch at Andrew's Trying.
Also go to our Discord to read the recaps of these games. We also just post about them in various things. Follow our Instagram at LongLostWarRPG. Go to the About page here to see all of the wonderful things our players get up to. I am being requested by those who want to spread the darkness in our chat to close out with I need to say the 3 words. And I will, if that's really what everybody wants. They want it every time. I'm not sure everybody here fully knows about the 3 words, and I guess if you really, really care about someone, when you're parting company with them, you don't need to say, I love you. You don't need to say, you don't need to make a big show of it. What you can do is you can just look them right in their eyes and just tell them the truth. But you don't even have to say the 3 words
that you know are true, you can just literally say 3 words, and they'll know what those 3 words are. And those 3 words, which I'll say to all of you out there, you are amazing.
Melted.
Here, I thought it was tier 1 sub.
3 words. 3 words they'd say. 3 words they'd say as we sit in the college dining hall. All right, by 3 words, 3 words, and they'd walk away. And then the darkness did take me then. And that is when I said, I will turn to evil. Because it is all there is left.
That's why you are the way you are.
Basically.
That's your villain origin story.
When I saw such unabashed, I don't want to call it love because it's too evil to be love, but when I saw such unabashed,
horror.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever term you want to do it for.
Well,
yo,
I have to go. I have to go huff Sharpies until my brain cells can't remember this anymore.
Hey, whether you're going off right now to huff Sharpies, or whether you're going to cuddle in the arms of a lover, whether you're going to take a long drive on the coast, whether you're just going to stare at the wall, because when you're alone, you deactivate your social programs. It doesn't matter. Deep down, I want you all to know that you are amazing.
I want to apologize to our first-time viewers.
I want to.
Please come back.
I want to apologize to our last-time viewers. Thank you.
What about the players? What about the players? Can we get an apology to the players too?
Yeah, you know. I think Philip should apologize to the players. Absolutely.
Oh, there is darkness, but there is also joy.
I'm sorry, Book and Dagger.
Yeah, Book and Dagger wants you to apologize.
I would like to apologize to no one because I am perfect and never make any mistakes.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Well, that's because you are amazing. So, with all that in mind, thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, have a dreadful night.